Well, I was really hoping not to go over 25 minutes, but apparently I failed at that. I kind of figured I was going to, because of how much there is to know in this card game. So, where we left off last time, Divine, where we're going over attack cards. The last one are just basic attack cards. They're there for just higher, and they can stack themselves as long as you play them at the exact same time. So when you play 2 Divine Rows at the same time, instead of giving you only +5 each, you get a +12. But if you play them separately, like say you play one, your opponent plays something, then you play a second Divine Rose, you only get the +5 each, not the full +12. So that's kind of one of those things. It's just there for support. This is going to take forever for part 1 to upload. I'm going to get both parts up today, I promise. I don't care how long they take to upload each. They're going up today. So that's why I'm going to try to make this one a little quicker so it uploads quick, so you have both parts. The next thing we're going to go over real quick is worlds. You have level 3, level 1, and level 2 worlds. Now, there are worlds that help support the world you're playing, such as Halloween Town level 2 from the original set. Well, the original set that this came out of. You search your deck for a Jack Skellington and add it to your hand. It's really good. But it does say dark, no limit, any number of dark cards can be played on this. So they have to play off the combined levels, like I was saying about playing Heartless, but they can play, instead of having to play off a certain number of Heartless they can play on it, as long as they're playing up to the level, they can play as many Heartless on this card as they want, which sucks. To be you. When you're getting that shoved on you. But it's still a really good supporter. Now, level 3s, a lot of people just think that when you world race, you should only be playing like 5 level 3s, so you go immediately up to level 15 and win the game. My problem with only playing level 3s is at that point, after turn 1, when you play your second world, when you're up to 6, your opponent can play the like 3 and 4 best Heartless in the game on you to pretty much shut you down from world racing until you draw specific cards to get rid of them. So that's why when I play my Jack of all traits, my tournament deck, I gave a culmination of, I think I play like 5 level 3s, 2 level 2s, and 3 level 1s, because my 3 level 1s are Disney Castle. Disney Castle, what it states is your opponent cannot play dark cards on this card at all, and then you get to draw a card when this card is played. But you cannot play multiple of Disney Castle in a row. So you can't just go Disney Castle, draw a card, next turn Disney Castle, draw a card, and make sure your opponent can't play Heartless. So they balanced it out. But other than that, Disney Castle is really good to help you world race. Just even that 1 extra level can be a huge boost. But that's why I don't just play 5 level 3s, is because I don't want my opponent taking advantage of how I'm playing my worlds. I want to make sure that my worlds are under my control and not my opponent taking control of my worlds just because I played too many level 3s in a row or things like that. These are pretty much like the 3 best worlds in the game right now. I know some people would dispute that, but in all honesty, Hollow Bastion level 3 literally only has the backdraw of you get -2 attack value when battling dark cards on it. That's really not even that much of a setback, considering if you're trying to beat stuff on your world, you're going to be playing really high attack power attack cards. So that one's amazing. The only reason Traverse Town can be a neg is the fact that if you're trying to kill Stealth Sneak on your world, it can kind of set you back a tiny bit because you're giving the Stealth Sneak 1 extra health. But 1 extra health normally, other than Stealth Sneak, is not that much. You're still making sure your opponent is trying to... You're killing Heartless on it no matter what, other than Stealth Sneak, but Stealth Sneak's a pain in the butt. Lastly, we're going to go into Heartless. Now, there are a ton of really, really good Heartless. I'm gonna go over a couple that are really good in a dark deck first. Yeah, let's go with those. These are some of the best dark cards to play in a Heartless deck in any way, shape, or form. Bit Sniper helps you get to your levels because you can discard as many cards from your hand as you want to lower its level by 1 for each card. So, but then as soon as it comes into play, it goes back up to level 4. So it's really good. You can do that onto a world too. So, Wizard says neither player can play Magic at any time. This thing is dumb. Dumb. Because that makes it where you have to attack it and beat over a 13 instead of playing just simple Magic to get rid of it. Bouncy Wild, you're going to want 3 of it in a Dark Heartless deck because every time you play it, you draw a card. Normally, it's not that great just to play it onto your opponent's world. Even with the draw power, it's just kind of a very simplified Heartless. But when you're playing in a Dark card deck, that gets you to your next levels and worlds and things like that very simply. Aqua Tank. This is one of my favorite Heartless in a dark deck because when you play it sorry, let me read it. If your opponent's current world... Sorry, I just shook my camera. I'm really sorry about that. If your opponent's world card allows more dark cards to be placed on it, you may choose 1 dark Heartless card from your deck and play it onto that world card. If you do, shuffle your deck. Now, this is a come into play effect. So as soon as you play this on your opponent's world or in your friend area when you have a dark player card, you search your deck for a dark Heartless card and put it onto your opponent's world. Now, since it does not say this does not count as a play, if you choose a Bouncy Wild from your deck and put it onto your opponent's world, you get to draw a card. If you play something, sorry, I can't think of a lot of Heartless that have a come into play effect. If you choose a Parasite Cage and can play it onto your opponent's world, it gets its come into play effect. So, Aqua Tank is a 3 in every one of the decks I play for Dark Heartless. There's one other Dark Heartless I want to go over, and I'm sorry I didn't grab it out already. Actually, there's 2. Black Fungus. Black Fungus says all of your dark cards are -1 level, which is a huge plus to slowly get you into getting those Heartless cards played, because you're subtracting levels, and since with the dark card you can play 3. I know I said I was going to do a tutorial video later, but I'm going to do this really quick. You get to play these, you can play 3 of these at once in a dark card deck, so it's amazing. Air Pirate, choose a equipment card in play and discard it. Against Roxas or anything that's playing equipment, this is amazing. Because you're negging your opponent right there. Search Ghost, you search your deck for a dark villain card and add it to your hand. You play multiple dark villain cards in your deck. Dark villain card. This is only bad when you're playing against Hercules. It sucks, because if they have Fill, -5. If you go into a battle against a Hercules, it gets another -10. So it sucks. But playing it in a friend area of Ansem, amazing. But this searches your deck for a dark villain and adds it to your hand when it's played. So, those are some of the Dark Heartless that you want to play in a villain deck. Now, these are just some of the Heartless that you could play at any time in any deck. Those are good in any deck too, but you'd more primarily want those in the dark deck. Parasite Cage says when it comes into play, choose one of your opponent's friend cards and put it under this card. Now your opponent cannot get that friend card back until they defeat this card. If this card is in the friend area of a dark deck, your opponent ain't getting that friend back because they can't defeat this Heartless. And even if this card is discarded from your friend area, it's not considered defeated. So if you discard this off of the challenge, when you challenge your opponent, you get to discard that friend card too. So Parasite Cage is one of the greatest friend cards when you play a dark deck. But even as is with a dark card, if you play this and you suck up a cloud under it, your opponent just lost 9 attack value that they could go into battle against this thing and try to kill it. So that's really good. Stealth Sneak, you know my rant about how good Stealth Sneak is. You don't need to know more. Cave of Wonders Guardian. When your opponent goes into battle against this card, they have to deal all damage towards Cave of Wonders Guardian first. And then they can start trying to deal damage to the others. So first and foremost, all damage done has to go to him. Amazing. So he's a great Heartless card to be playing. Cerberus and Behemoth, you guys know how I feel about Cerberus and Behemoth. Behemoth, you get to make your opponent use all of their friend cards in their friend area when they want to battle this. Cerberus, your opponent has to have a minimum of 3 to go into battle against this. And then when Cerberus comes into play, you discard all Cloud cards in play. So you just helped yourself make sure that they have a harder time of beating this. So either one of these is a great addition to any deck to help your opponent, slow your opponent down. Creeper Plant is really good, at least at 1 in every deck, because with Creeper Plant, he's just an instant kill on a Stealth Sneak by discarding it from your hand. Wyvern, as long as this card stays on your opponent's world at their discard phase, they take a health. I mean, if for some reason they can't beat over 15, they're just sitting there taking health every turn. And then this, it's a 7/15 blank text. It's just kind of there as a big wall. So those are all of the big Heartless that you can really play in a deck. So that is my tutorial videos. I was really hoping that it wouldn't be videos. I was just hoping for a singular video, but that didn't happen, and I apologize about that. So, if you guys really did like it, I'm going to be doing battle videos here coming up soon. I'm going to do a tutorial video on how to build a full-on Dark Heartless deck. So, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace, guys.